She never smiled, not once. Not when she took the orders, not when she brought the food. Not even when the little kids at the corner table waved goodbye with syrupy fingers. She moved like a ghost on autopilot, polite, quick, and hollow. Michael had been coming to that small-town diner every Saturday morning with his 6-year-old daughter, Ellie, ever since they moved in 2 months ago. But after losing his wife in a tragic car accident, breakfast with Ellie became a tradition, a small ritual that helped them feel normal again. Ellie always ordered chocolate chip pancakes. They always had black coffee and eggs. And Sheath, the waitress, always served them. At first he figured maybe she was just shy, or tired, or having a bad week. But week after week, he couldn't help but notice her eyes never lit up, not even for a second. And one morning, something in Michael stirred. Maybe it was Ellie's innocent question, "Daddy, why doesn't the pancake lady smile?" Or maybe it was the growing guilt in his heart from silently watching someone who seemed so lost. So he asked. It was a rainy morning, unusually quiet in the diner. Only 2 tables were occupied. Ellie was busy coloring the kids' menu with a red crayon. When the waitress came to refill his coffee, Michael looked up and gently asked, "Hey, can I ask you something? Why don't you ever smile?" She froze. His question hung in the air like the smell of burnt toast. "I'm sorry," he said quickly. "That probably came out wrong. I've noticed. And I hope you're okay." The coffee pot in her hand shook slightly before she set it down. Her lips pressed together tightly as if to contain something. Then, softly, almost like a breath, she said, "Because if I start smiling, I'm afraid I won't be able to stop crying." Her name was Ava. She was 28. And 5 months ago, her fiancé and her little brother were shot and killed during a gas station robbery. A freak incident. Wrong place, wrong time. They were coming back from a baseball game. Her fiancé had pulled over to grab water. Her brother had followed. 2 minutes later, both were gone. "I used to be someone who smiled too much," she said, voice shaking. "People used to tell me my laugh was too loud. I worked here through college. I used to dream about owning a bakery one day now. Just try to make it through the day." Michael sat in stunned silence. Ellie looked up at her with wide eyes and whispered, "I'm sorry your family went to heaven." Ava choked back a sob and turned away quickly, mumbling, "Thanks, sweetheart." Michael couldn't stop thinking about her after that. Not in a romantic way, he wasn't even sure his heart was ready for anything like that, but as a human, being aching for another. He understood pain. He understood waking up every morning, feeling like half of you had died. That night, as he tucked Ellie into bed, she whispered, "Can we make the pancake lady smile?" He smiled. "We can try." Next morning, they showed up at the diner with a homemade card Ellie had made. It was a bright yellow paper filled with flowers, hearts, and stick figures holding hands. Inside it said, "It's okay to be sad. We see you. You're not alone." In crayon, Ava didn't smile when she read it. She cried, and that was better. She sat with them on her break for the first time. She told Ellie about her brother who used to draw Pikamin characters on restaurant napkins. She told Michael how she'd stopped baking after the funeral because the kitchen reminded her of the life she was supposed to have. "I feel like I'm surviving, not living," she said. Michael nodded slowly. "That's how I felt for months. After my wife passed, like I was walking underwater, everyone else breathing, me drowning in silence." There was a long pause. "Does it get easier?" she asked. "No," he said honestly. "But you get stronger, and you start letting people in. That's when things shift." Over the next few weeks, something did shift. Ava began to talk more. She started bringing cookies to share with regulars. Michael noticed she'd tied her hair differently. One day, she even wore earrings. Tiny steps, but steps nonetheless. One Saturday, Ellie ran in and hugged her around the waist before Ava could even say hello. And Ava finally smiled. "I didn't think it would ever feel okay again," she told Michael that day. "You don't have to feel okay all at once," he replied. "You just have to let yourself feel. That's how healing starts." Months passed. Ava enrolled in a part-time baking class. Ellie became her unofficial taste tester. Michael, he began to hope again. For all 3 of them, They never tried to replace the people they lost. They simply learned to carry their memories with love instead of pain. In one warm spring morning, as Ellie blew bubbles in the park and Ava laughed a real, full laugh, Michael looked up and thought, this is what healing looks like, not in grand gestures, but in small, quiet moments when we choose to live again. Moral message, sometimes the people who seem the strongest are carrying the heaviest grief. A simple act of kindness, a gentle question, or a child's innocent heart can be the first light in someone's long, dark tunnel. Healing doesn't happen all at once, but it begins when we stop being silent, when we see each other, and when we remind one another that no one has to walk through pain alone.